To the senator from Eastern Fairfax County, Senator Surovell.
Thank you, Mr. President. Speaking against the amendment.
Senator has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is the last time y'all hear from me today on the budget, but I've kind of have a pet peeve about these movie production tax credit things. I've been fighting against them since they were enacted, I think, about 5 years ago. When we take taxpayer dollars and we give it to another third party to do economic development, I think there's two things we look at. One is what's the return to taxpayers, and two, what is that impact going to be long term on the Commonwealth? Let's just talk first of all about the return these things have, because movie tax credits have been studied all across the country because they proliferated. They're now in 39 states. In Massachusetts, they found their state got back only 13 cents in revenue for every dollar they spent. North Carolina just reduced their plan when they found that they spent $30 million in tax incentives and created 55 to 70 new jobs. California found theirs returned 65 cents on the dollar. Louisiana found that they lost $12,000 for every job that was created by the film tax credit. The only studies that have ever been done on these things that have found a positive impact have been ones that have been funded by Hollywood. But the ones that are funded by independent entities never find that we spend money, we actually net a return to our taxpayers. So in terms of what's the return to taxpayers, the reality is it's actually negative. We're throwing money away. Number one. Number two, what's the impact? When I think about when we should spend money on economic development, I always feel like we should preference things, we should focus taxpayer dollars on things that create lasting, long-term, permanent impacts. Create facilities, create jobs that are going to stay, not things that are going to be mercurial, things that are just going to come and go. These movie credits, what they do is they bring these guys in, they come, they spend money, the restaurants do well, the hotels do well a little while, the carpenters get some money, the dry cleaners do okay, and then everything vanishes. This is not a way to create a long-lasting, sustainable industry in this state. It's not the way we should do economic development. Who are we benefiting? Mainly billionaires and millionaire movie producers. Look at the bulk of where these went to. It went to Steven Spielberg for the Lincoln movie, and obviously we got a little bit of sunshine on this Capitol for that. But how many of you see increased tourism happening in this building because of that movie? There's nothing happening after that movie left. What's happening nationally is states are going the other direction than we are today. Louisiana put a cap on theirs. Alaska killed their program last year. Michigan's debating a cut right now. Massachusetts is debating a cut. North Carolina cut theirs. The only states that are expanding these things besides us is California and Maryland, if that's who you want to stand with today by voting for this. So, Mr. President, I think if we invest, we ought to invest in long-term jobs, not these little short-term jobs, not things that put stars in people's eyes, but we ought to be investing our taxpayer dollars carefully in things that have long-lasting impact. And I also think we shouldn't stand with Maryland and California, Hollywood. We should stand with Virginians and invest in the state instead of investing in those other places. Thank you.